Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for last night's 2-1 home defeat against top of the table. That's right, top of the table, previously of the Premier League, Fulham. It's been an absolute shitstorm on social media, a massive, massive divide as well between the fan base. Some people saying, what do you expect? Fulham relegated from the Premier League, paid £93 million for coming last as well. A constant yo-yo side, backwards and forwards. A plethora of talent against little old Millwall, £6 million. I think in total our team is worth something along those lines. And on the flip side of that, other people were saying that wasn't Millwall, that was pathetic, we showed no fight. I'm really on the fence. I'm really on the fence. Last night I said that I defended the side, and I do, because as we said, Fulham, I think it's something ridiculous, 125 million their team has cost. As we said, a yo-yo side, expected to go back up, currently top of the division, won 5-1 at the weekend as well, by the way. With 10 men, it was 3-1. They scored 2 more after having someone sent off. But I do understand what people were saying, and I don't think it's so much the result. I think it was the performance. Let's have it right, it was 2-1. It could have been 7 or 8-0. Chitty said that. I think Joe said it as well. A few people said it in their fan cams. They went out late last night. Don't be shy, check them out as well after you've watched this one. So yeah, it is a difficult decision, and I said a very long time ago that I wanted to row it out. That was after we was 10 games without a win. That stretched to 14 games without a win, losing heavily to teams as well. I don't think he's a master tactician. I think he parks the bus and he tries to get what he can. Is he doing the right thing because that's Millwall? No, because I don't think he understands Millwall if he's doing that. However, I do, on his side of things, understand that where we are as a club and where we are as a team, we need to try and nick what we can when we can. And if we go gung-ho and go all-out attack, that's not going to work for us. So it's a very, very difficult one. Let's start out with a starting 11 that he picked, because questions and eyebrows were raised here as well. Is Goalkeeper in goal, 3 centre-backs, still no Hutch, out for around 6 weeks as well, by the way, just for a double kick in the bollocks. We found that out after the game. So as I said, Goalkeeper in goal. 3 centre-backs, Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper and Daniel Ballard. Marlon Romeo, right wing-back. Scott Malone, left wing-back. 2 central midfielders were Mikael Kieftenbeld and Ryan Leonard, with George Saville in support of Benica Fobe and Jed Wallace. Okay, Evans dropped out, rightly so, because I don't think he's up to the level, and I'm worried it's a bit of a Ryan Wood situation now where Rowitz brought him in, he's one of his boys, so he's going to play him. He dropped out, Ryan Leonard came in. I love Lenny, didn't think he looked fit. The biggest question mark at... saying he didn't look fit, Fulham were just a fucking 2-3 yards quicker than the entire of our team, wasn't they? But anyway, Lenny wasn't the man for me in that occasion. I would have played Billy Mitchell. Yes, he's young, but he likes to retain the ball. He is fit as fuck as well, and he just gives an extra bite. I mean, no Ben Thompson on the bench. I know people are going to be screaming at me now, he's fucking useless, he can't keep the ball. But we needed a little bit of kick, bollock and bite in that first half. We needed someone to go and just to lump someone up in the air. But we didn't. Maybe we couldn't get near him. I don't know. The biggest talking point of the game was Marlon Romeo at right back. Danny McNamara dropped out. People asking me why. I don't know. I mean, I think Marlon came in and did well in the League Cup game against Portsmouth. However, that's against Portsmouth. And for me, Danny McNamara absolutely has to start. He's been a revelation since coming back from St John's. The only thing I could think of, the only one thing that I could think of is the goal we conceded on Saturday. Danny McNamara was beaten in the air for the goal. However, our line was all wrong. Our starting position was all wrong. That wasn't down to Danny McNamara. And he shouldn't be marking their danger man, Ben Brereton, who's about 6'9". Well, he's not 6'9", but he's taller than Danny Mac. And it shouldn't be down to a right back. That should have been left to one of the big boys to be picking up their danger man. So, bad organisation, bad starting line. Not blaming Danny Mac for the goal at all. I'm not sure if that was. But I can't think why on earth he would drop Danny Mac out the side in favour of Marlon Romeo. Now, I'm going to say this. Marlon Romeo was getting absolutely hammered on social media last night. He was getting hammered during our live stream. Over 5,000 again tuned in. I wasn't expecting that last night, of course, with the game being on Sky. So big thanks to all of you that did tune in. Marlon Romeo is not a single cause that we lost that game. I'm not a massive fan of Marlon anymore. He's been a great servant for the club. However, his final ball and end product isn't good at all. He never hits his target. He used to score goals, used to be exciting coming forward, and now he still is exciting coming forward, but his end products are never there. He now cuts in on his left foot and tries to hit shots over the bar. His crosses don't get where they should go. So I'm not sure why he's been put in favour of Danny Mack. Maybe it's this bullshit squad rotational system that managers like to employ these days. But Marlon Romeo isn't the reason we've lost that game. Our problems stem a lot deeper than that. And some people will say, and I'm inclined to agree, we've actually got the best squad we've had in a very, very long time. Now, why can we not create any chances? People as well, I meant to say this in one of my videos the other day, saying we absolutely need a striker. We're crying out for a class striker. I've got to tell you, Benicophobe's really warming on me, really growing on me. And he worked tirelessly last night. He got a bit of luck with his goal, but sometimes that can be the fucking little trigger you need to get things flowing. And you've got to be in the right positions. And he was looking to be in and around Matt Smith when it did fucking hit him and go in from distance, a random goal. But it doesn't matter who we've got up front. We do not create any chances for our strikers. Right, so it doesn't matter who you got up front. I said to this in the group chat yesterday, to the Lions TV group chat, the WhatsApp group with the boys. They're saying they love a phobia, they're saying he's brilliant. I said, yeah, great, but he won't score. I don't think he'll score 5 league goals this season. I hope I'm wrong. I'm 99% sure he won't get 10. And it's nothing to do with a phobia's play. As I said, I thought he worked tirelessly last night. Winning balls he had no right to be winning against 2 big centre-halves. Run his bollocks off, did everything he could. I think it was Kenny or Kieran said as well. Someone said he makes fantastic runs that our players don't read. So I've got no problem with a phobia. I just don't think he's going to score goals because I don't think anyone's going to score goals. And in that instance, we've got to look at our tactics. Now, I sensed this would come when the fans return. I sensed this was going to come because he wouldn't have lasted in lockdown as long as he lasted. And people were saying, "Wow, it's been really unlucky." Because he didn't have the fans there. He was arsehole lucky because he didn't have the fans there. Because he simply wouldn't have lasted as long as he lasted with the fans there. He just wouldn't have done. And I think last night it's already creeping in. People saying Rowett out after 3 games. People saying he's too negative. I don't think he was negative because at home, you know, I said 4 at the back last season. A lot of you saying 4 at the back last night. I don't know against Fulham. I think we did the right thing. Although Murray Wallace, bless him, and I love Murray Wallace, he got absolutely torn a new arsehole by then number 7. There's no better way of putting it. There's no polite way of putting it. Sorry, Murray. You are a warrior. You are a mountain. And you give everything for the club. But sometimes, you know, last night especially in these circumstances, it just isn't enough. And he got absolutely shredded to pieces by the Fulham number 7. Who, again, let's have it right, I don't even know who the guy is, but he's probably worth in excess of £10 million, isn't he? That's probably what they bought him for. And... you know, this is the situation with Rowett now. I think he's done the right thing because, don't forget, he was even more defensive last season because we played 3 centre-backs and 2 holding midfield players. We're now gone to 2 midfielders and a 10. But that didn't work. And last night, I think I saw for the very first time, Rowett panic because he changed it to 4-4-2 at half-time. But before we get into any of that, I've got to say something. And it's going to fucking really hurt me to say what I've got to say. Because I love the man, and I've got one of his fucking match-worn shirts, and I want him to sign it for me before he leaves the club. And that's Bart Bulkowski. I've watched the goals back. It was at the other end to where I was last night. Of course, I'm now up in box 1. So the Cold Blow Lane is now the other end of where I sit. If you haven't already, check out our live streams. We are doing live streams for every home league game this season. But I'm sorry, listen, as much as I love Bart, he's had a little bit of a shaky start to the season for me. And yes, he's made saves in the game later on. But on reflection of those goals, if I've got to be completely honest with you, and I was watching Jordan Archer in goal, I'll be doing my absolute nut. He's been beaten at his near post twice, not just once. He's got to be saving both those shots. The first one, okay, there's a fucking huge gaping gap, a great hole where Marlon Romeo probably should be, and Fulham get in, again, a level above what we're playing, cut to the byline, Kieftenbeld gives chase, who again give everything for the calls last night, but it was men against boys at times, cuts it back, Mitrovic gets in front of a defender, yes, so a lot of factors have led to it getting to where it's got to, but unless Bart's unsighted, I have no idea why he's not saved that at his front post. He's got to save it. He hasn't dived to his right, he's just sort of fell backwards, and the second goal as well. Second goal was even worse, in my opinion. He's got to save both those shots. I'm amazed no one else has picked that up. Maybe I'm being too critical. But for me, 2 goals, both could be saved by the goalkeeper. I'm not, as I say, I'm not blaming him 100% because a lot of factors have got to happen before the ball gets where it gets. But Bart absolutely has got to be saving both those shots. As a goalkeeper at near post, any goalkeeper that's played any sort of standard will be thinking he's got to be saving that. And I didn't realise at the time, as I said, because he's right at the other end from us. People in the, like, hanging over the barrier in the way, so it's difficult to see. And then you've got a mountain to climb. And we didn't start the game that bad for the first 2 or 3 minutes. But if I'm Gary Rowett, in Gary Rowett's defence, with a preparation going into the game, you've got to be expecting your goalkeeper to be saving that. And he didn't. After that, it was just men against boys. Jeb Wallace couldn't get into the game. George Saville, I thought, was terrible in the game. I think he's, hitting shots from 35 yards. I don't think he's got going yet, Sav. And I think maybe I could be wrong. A little bit of a sense of entitlement. Yeah, I'm here now. I'm back. I'm the big dog. And he doesn't do enough for me in games. I agree with Kenny. He's not doing enough in that 10 position at all. However, tactics-wise, again, okay, we played a 10, but I think you're fucking mad to play wing-backs against Fulham. And someone did say that could have been Chitty in their fan cam. You can't be playing wing-backs against them. You've got to... And it doesn't mean you're going defensive if you go to a flat back four, but you've got to. Scott Malone I love, but as I've covered before, in warm-ups, Scott Malone, when they do in the warm-up, watch them on Saturday if you're going to be there like I am at Cardiff, when the ball gets knocked up, 4 of them drop back. It's the 3 centre-halves, and it's either Danny Mack or Romeo, who's ever playing right back. They practice before the game. Scott Malone's not even in the practice. He's over fucking practicing his shots. And rightly so, because he's a massive danger for us going forward. But defending isn't his strong points. We just couldn't do anything last night. We couldn't get on the ball. When we got on the ball, we panicked and we shipped it. It literally was like watching men against boys. We couldn't string 3 or 4 passes together. 2 players in the game, for me, stood out. Daniel Ballard, again, superb. Jake Cooper was very good as well, by the way. I can't fault Coops. But my man of the match is going to be Benik Afobe. His work rate's sensational. He has to say he was winning balls. He had no right to be winning in all across the game, first and second half. Ball was coming up. He's in between 2 centre halves. I said, well, that's him fucked. I was actually commentating saying he's got no chance. He had nothing balls, and he was working hard to win it back. We have got a good side. We have got a good side, and do you know what? If you watch Kenny's post-match, he's currently doing well on social and on YouTube, because Kenny said something about we should be playing 4-4-2. We should be playing 2 recognised strikers. Jed shouldn't be playing up front. And I was thinking, what are you on about, Ken? But I've actually got... If you watch it back, and the podcast we did, there is another Den debate coming tomorrow, by the way, to cover the last 3 games, the first 3 games, league games of the season. He's absolutely spot on. Rowett panics at half-time, but what Rowett did was, he took Romeo off, he put Matt Smith on, but then he put Ryan Leonard at right back. And as much as I like Lenny, he's got absolutely 0 pace. So Danny McNamara must be scratching his head thinking, what the fuck have I done to get dropped here? Yeah, and it is worrying because, as we said now, we come back into the game, we had a little go the second half, we consolidated. Listen, it was like the Alamo at times. They were lining up, as I said, Paul Murray-Wallace got nutmegged about 53 times by the same player. Hush out now for a sustained period of time as well, which is going to be worrying. 6 weeks, in case you didn't hear me say that, at least 6 weeks, or around 6 weeks, if you didn't hear me say that earlier on in the video. So, yeah, just worrying times. It is a little bit worrying, isn't it? And I think Rowett will be feeling the pinch. I know it's only 3 games in, and I watched his interview on Sky after, and he tried to play it down a little bit, saying, it's early days, we played a fantastic side. So it is up for debate. I'm a bit of both, so I'm sitting on the fence slightly. Fulham were that good, in my opinion. They were that good. They are frighteningly quick coming forward. The pace shown last night, I think a lot of people said, I see a few people cover this, that literally one asset that Jeb Wallace has got is he's clearly faster than the rest of our players. Last night, he looked like he was treading water because they were so much faster than their entire team. But that's their sharpness. That's where they've come from. That's the level they're at. And they did move the ball fantastically, Fulham, quickly and with effect when they did have the ball, which was, let's have it right, a fucking lot of the time. But yeah, it's a difficult one now. I mean, I don't know why I put Ryan in the right back because, as I said, I love Lenny, but he's got absolutely 0 pace. So that was a strange decision for me. George Evans coming on again in front of Billy Mitchell, a strange decision for me because he offers nothing in the game. However, it wasn't his fault we lost the game. But again, I'm going to take a little positive from last night. Ballard, Cooper and Afobe especially. We've gone against a side there that are a fucking good side. They're going to be free scoring, knocking teams over for fun. And we've got a 2-1 result. In all honesty, we probably should have lost 7-0. But some great defending, some great saves from Bart. Despite me thinking he should have done better for both goals. Some heroic defending, some real grit and determination shown. But Fulham were just level above. And I think with our budget and theirs, like I've said, and where they've come from, and where they're more than likely to go back to, they're another Norwich, aren't they? I don't think it was all he's lost. However, QPR, okay, they're always a team that starts well, falls away. Blackburn now at home, when you're 1-0 up, you've got to be going for the jugular there. We've got to be seeing those games out because we need every point we can get. There is no easy games in this division. There was no standout games in this division for me when I saw the fixture list this year. But there's no easy games. We're going to Cardiff. They're undefeated, I believe. I looked at the table quickly this morning and they are in and around it. So it's going to be very, very difficult. And after Saturday, we could be 4 games in without a win. So alarm bells, not just yet, but as I said, and like Kenny said, playing 4-4-2, as that opens Rowett size, or is he just absolutely panicked? Because I've never ever known him to play 4-4-2. Definitely not since he's been Millwall manager, probably in his entire management career. So, yeah, will he bite the bullet? Kenny says he's stubborn. Is he stubborn? Was we outclassed? Is that a game we should be expecting to get more from or showing more fight? I thought we showed fight. I thought we showed fight, grit and determination. But that poor start and Bart Balkowski getting done twice at his near post has absolutely fucking done us, in my opinion. And there's just no way back from that. There is no way back. They're going to be full of confidence. Olaying after 10 minutes, the cheeky fucks. So, yeah, difficult one to scope. That's why I've done a post-match early, because I've not been awake long. And it's all going off. People comment on the videos. Not all going off. Look, this is football. This is what we're here for. This is what I'm here for. This is why I'm in a job, because we like to discuss. So let me know what you think in the comments below. So in summary, I'm a little bit of both. I think, I think we did dig in. I think we did give it our all at times. And I think that's why we kept the scoreline to what we kept the scoreline to. People looking online this morning will think, well, I was expecting Fulham to win 2-1. Millwall ain't done too bad, really. But the scoreline definitely doesn't reflect the situation of the outcome of the match, really, wasn't it? As we know, it could have been 6 or 7-0. But we didn't get away with one. People saying we got away with one. We did dig in, despite us going 2-0 down early. And as I say, I think Bart's got to be saving both of them. Both of his near posts. He will be, I'm sure he'll be disappointed looking back on that. But we did show grit and determination. But we did set up wrong. I think putting Romeo in instead of Danny Max cost us massive as well. By the way, although I don't blame Romeo for the defeat. And Fulham are a very good side. Is it panic stations? Are some of us panicking too early? I'm not actually panicking because I think we're going to go to Cardiff and win. I've just shit on the pre-match prediction for tomorrow, but I just think we will. We're better away from home. The 3 at the back suits us better away from home. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. But we'll tell you the wrong answer afterwards. No, there is no right or wrong answer. I think it's all about opinion. This wonderful game of football. It's good to be back. Yes, it is, but a few people spitting feathers after last night's result. Not happy. As I said, I will be back tomorrow for a preview show as we travel to sunny South Wales on Saturday, and there could be potentially a den debate. 3 games in, as I said, tomorrow night. Kenny Draper's on board, and I'm looking for another straggler. Could be Henry Morgan from the No One Likes Us Talking podcast on board with us tomorrow night as we reflect on the opening 3 games of the season. Until then, loads of fan cams out from yesterday. Also, a good bit of news from yesterday is the under-23s one. The match report for that is also up on our YouTube channel. And I will see you on Saturday in Cardiff if you're going. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Don't panic just yet. Come on, you Lions.